Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Unknown Legend and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be trying out a new video format that I like to call Videogame Storytime. Basically I pick a video game that I decide and just kind of talk about the story. In today's case we are going to be talking about Call of Duty Zombies, more specifically the Call of Duty Zombies map Tranzit. And what we're going to be talking about today is the alleged Bus Route B. So if you are excited for that, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it. So there's two main questions that we're going to be tackling. What is Bus Route B and is it real? This is one of those things where it's kind of hard to actually talk about because there's not a whole lot of concrete evidence proving that it's real. There is evidence proving that it's real, but it's not like it's one of those things where you're gonna get 100% confirmation. The best we're gonna get is theories and things that point to it. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first main thing is actually in the spawn room of Tranzit. If you look at this map here, you can see what appears to be a map of Tranzit. It's not a very good map, but it's the best thing they had at the time. And if you look at the top, you can see that there are multiple routes. You can see what appears to be Bus Route A that says no nighttime services, and you can see Bus Route B, which has less times, but it doesn't say no night services. So we can infer that that Bus Route B is, let's say, it's the nighttime route. And for those who don't know, Tranzit was supposed to have a day and nighttime cycle, but they were unable to introduce it into the game because of the console limitations of the time. Basically, they weren't able to put it in because they were running on an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3. And that's the case with a lot of things in Tranzit. The fog, the denizens, the lava everywhere. These things were all put into the game to slow down the player from crashing the engine. That's basically all it is. With this, they also had to cut a lot of game modes and a lot of features, one of them being Bus Route B, allegedly. So as far as an in-game Bus Route B, we can pretty much confirm that it doesn't exist. There is only one route in Tranzit, and that is the route that we all know and love, that starts from the bus depot, ends at the town, and just restarts. The bus just keeps going around the map in the same loop that it always has since 2012. But what if I were to tell you that Bus Route B isn't so much a gameplay mechanic as it is a story mechanic? Let me explain. So, for those who don't know, Tranzit is a lot more than just a random town in the middle of Washington. It is actually referred to as the Hanford site. Now, the Hanford site is actually a real place that exists in the real world. Tranzit was based off of the Hanford site, but in the Call of Duty Zombies storyline, the Hanford site is actually a testing site that has to do with Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is kind of like the American Group 935. They basically tested Element 115 after the Second World War ended and Group 935 was disbanded. After that happened, the American Broken Arrow Group was formed and the Russian Ascension Group was formed. But we're not talking about the Russian Ascension Group, we're talking about the American Broken Arrow Group. And Hanford, Washington, the Hanford site, which is what Tranzit is, or at least what it is built around, that's what the Hanford site is, that's what Tranzit is. And this is pretty much confirmed when you go to the power station and look underground and turn the power on. It's a completely different design than the rest of the power station there. You know, it's all bright, it's all technological looking, and I mean, when you turn the power on, the Avogadro literally comes out of the middle of this big transformer looking thing. Not to mention, you go down underneath the bank and there are these cages everywhere. It's looking more technological too. There are these barrels everywhere, and the pack-a-punch machine of all things is down there. So that pretty much confirms that something weird is going on here, and this is not just a normal, you know, American small town. There's some government stuff going on around here. But what does this all have to do with Bus Route B? Well, let me explain. So you have the Hanford site in Washington State. Now, as a result of the rockets from Moon hitting the Earth, everything got destroyed. You know, that's why there's fog and lava everywhere. That's why the Earth is, you know, the ground around you is literally cracked up and destroyed. So like buildings are destroyed. That's why there's zombies everywhere, because everybody died. And that is why the bus looks all destroyed, and that's why Ted looks the way he does. Now, when you hop on the bus for the first time and you go through the tunnel, and when you exit the tunnel, Ted will say this.
Error. Error. Global positioning system navigation error. Maintain current course. Implement automatic
End of the line already?
Followed by...
Error. Error. Bus transponder non-operational. Defaulting to program route cycle. Now arriving Savannah River Tritium K reactor.
Now, for those of you who don't know what he's saying, let me simplify it for you. Basically, Ted's GPS system, as a result of the rockets hitting from Moon, got messed up. It got broken, it doesn't work right anymore, and as a result of that, he is kind of making up stuff as he goes. Basically, as he's driving, his software is re-correcting itself, and he's just kind of making up a route as he goes. That's basically what Transit is. It is a route that Ted makes up as he goes. I mean, it's also a preset route as just a gameplay mechanic, but I mean, storyline-wise, that's what you can infer of it. It's just Ted making up a route as he goes. And what that means is that is not the original route that Ted was supposed to take if the rockets didn't hit. If Ted was going the normal route that he usually does, as his protocols say he should do, that is not the right route he's going. He is, like I said, making up a route as he goes. Now, something that's interesting is if you look at this freeze frame right here, you can see these two roads lead away from the diner. It looks like a normal highway, or maybe not a highway, but it looks like a normal, like, state route. It's blocked off by everything because obviously it's not part of the map, but it looks like it would go out into a main freeway and, you know, be like an interstate or something along those lines. Now, where am I going with this? Well, if we head to the map Nuketown, which is also a Black Ops 2 map, if we head to the map Nuketown, as we know, that map takes place before or during the events of Moon. At least it takes place before the rockets hit. If you don't know, Nuketown is also a Broken Arrow facility. It is a drilling facility that Broken Arrow started using because they needed more Element 115. If you look at the loading screen, you can see the drill that they are using. You can see a guy in a hazmat suit, and that is actually a character in the story, but he's not important to what I'm talking about right now. Basically, Nuketown is a drilling site where Broken Arrow gets more Element 115. Now, why is this important? Well, hold on. Around 5 or 6, we can hear the transit bus horn honk. Now, back in the day, people thought this was a glitch. They thought this wasn't supposed to be in it. They thought it was just kind of like an Easter egg or something. They didn't think this bus honk was important. But now, as we know, if we go to Black Ops 4, we know Camp Edward, or Nuketown, is actually a Broken Arrow facility, and that was back in the 1960s, or like it takes place in like 1964 or 63, around that time, around the same time that 5 takes place. And Nuketown takes place in 2025. Now, we do got to keep in mind that Nuketown Zombies is during the Jimmy Zielinski storyline and not the Jason Blundell storyline. But that's not important. What is important is that Nuketown is a Broken Arrow facility and Transit is a Broken Arrow facility. Now, why does that matter? Well, we hear the transit bus honk, so we know that somewhere nearby is maybe not the transit bus, but a similar bus that whatever company is around Transit uses, given the fact that it has the same honk. Now, if we look at the Chronorium, which, for those of you who don't know, the Chronorium is like the Bible of Call of Duty Zombies. It has everything from the beginning all the way to the end of the story. And it says in there, Russman, for those of you who don't know, Russman was a Broken Arrow agent that, as a result of the exposure to 115, he started losing his memory. He started acting differently. Basically, he got dementia from 115, essentially. So he took a bus from an abandoned Broken Arrow facility. Let's say just so happened to be the facility that Nuketown was, given the fact that we hear the honk. Then we see that he meets up with Stuhlinger and then eventually meets up with Misty and Marlton at the diner. The diner that's in Transit. So we can infer that he took the bus all the way from Nuketown down to Transit, which means, and he wasn't driving, keep in mind, he just had Ted drive him. So what that means is he hopped on the bus and Ted just started driving. Because obviously a human doesn't control that bus, Ted does. So what that means, bus route A, the bus route that Ted normally uses, goes from Nuketown to Transit. That's bus route A. And bus route B is the route that we follow in Transit. Mind blown, right? So bus route B, all of this time, was the route we were following in Transit. And bus route A, the route that Ted was supposed to be following, went to Nuketown. This is confirmed. These two sites being linked is confirmed when you go to Black Ops 4 and you see, and the main goal of that Easter egg is to take Avogadro and send him to the Hanford site, aka Transit. Those two sites are pretty much confirmed being linked in Black Ops 4. Now, we have to take this with a grain of salt because, yes, this is Jason Blundell talking in Black Ops 4 and Jimmy Zielinski in Black Ops 2. Two different developers with two different ideas of where the story was going to go. So yes, we do have to take it with a grain of salt, but I think it's pretty safe to say that bus route B is the route we take in Transit, and bus route A is Transit to Nuketown and Nuketown to Transit. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Bus route B is real, but it's just the route that we've been taking all these years. So it is kind of anticlimactic in a way, but if you want to think about it, bus route A is the route we've been taking all these years, and bus route B is from Transit to Nuketown. Whichever way you want to think about it. But yes, there are two bus routes. We just don't get to see it in game. So there is no bus route B, and there is. It's very, very confusing, but when you find it out for yourself the first time, or you watch a video like this video you're watching, hopefully, it does blow your mind that these developers can think so far ahead and put things together like that. The developers of COD Zombies are very unique in the way they introduce story elements. It's very into the background and very, like, they give you like fragments of the story that you have to piece together. It's very unique in the way that they do it, but that's why I love this game mode, because it's not told to you like it is nowadays. Back in the day, you had to actually like look for it and, you know, theorize, and I don't know, man. It's really cool. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, which I do plan on making more videos like this, because this was really fun to make, honestly. Leave a like, subscribe, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.